guys? Joe Samantha here. How do you like that, Mason Nation? Another big win for your Patriots today. Student section absolutely showed out. Go green and gold. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. A10 tourney time, baby. Brooklyn. It's time. It is back in the Big Apple. We're back in Brooklyn. It is A10 tournament time for your George Mason Patriots, and as confirmed today, just like it was the other day, Mason v. Richmond 3. The 5th time in 2 years, Mason will face off against Richmond in the Kim English era. Every single game has been tightly contested. Mason has a 3-1 record in the English era. Against Richmond, the only loss coming in that narrow defeat. And the first time he ever played Richmond actually away from home at the Robins Center back in February of 2022. 62-59, a Richmond victory after a Jacob Gilliard last-second three-pointer. Obviously, the thriller. This is kind of a partially review of that game and a preview of today's game. I kind of had a feeling that this would be where we're at, even though in my A10 bracket picks, I did not say that, which, smart going me, I guess. But hey, that is life sometimes. And but yeah, I kind of figured that we'd be back here for round number 3 against Richmond. So I kind of want to combine these into one here. Obviously, a crazy game on Saturday to close out the season. You had an 18-point lead. That was good. You blew the 18-point lead. That was bad. But I think in the highlights video done by our great social media director, Jacob Bear, did, as he said in the end of that video in the locker room scene, it's March. It's about survive and advance. Win, survive, advance. WSA, win, survive, advance. The Patriots won. They gained the 5th seed ticket I would say, I shouldn't say by far, but I think all round production wise, definitely his best game of the year. 22 points, including the last minute layup steal from Matt Gray's ticket. Took that. He ran it down. He made the layup this time. Isaiah Bigelow's 3 was a naga. And it was a great game from Ticket, as both Saquon and Josh, to a certain extent, dealt with foul trouble. Justin Fernandez as well was dealing with foul trouble. Mason did a really good job. That Robins Center is an underrated, hard place to win. I'd actually put it above St. Louis in terms of hard places to win in the A10. I'd go probably Dayton, Siegel Center for VCU, Robins Center, and then SLU are probably the top 4 hardest places to play in the A10 at this moment. Those are 4. The Robins Center is a very, very hard place to win. Richmond has basically seen mostly only their success against teams this year at the Robins Center. But, credit to them. They came out and they kicked UMass's ass. UMass, got their ass kicked, which maybe that should have been less a surprise than what it was, considering the fact that UMass seems very out of it. Tyler Burton led the way. 28 points, from Burton, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Great game from Burton. But I doubt that Mason, I shouldn't say. It's unlikely that Mason shoots 24% from the field and 6% from 3 like UMass did today. I doubt that is what would happen. But this is a team you got to watch out for. Tyler Burton leads the way. Matt Grace adds in there with some double digits, and then Quinn Nelson, Bigelow, he can hit some shots. Roche, he can hit some shots. Gustafson, not an offensive guy, but is just tough on defense. This is a team that's going to be hungry and it's going to be ready. And beating a team 3 times in a season is always hard, but, and I understand if you have a level of doubt, because even if they've shown us, I'm a huge Washington Capitals fan. I've talked about this. And even during that fantastic 2018 run, even in times before that, where even when we got 11 in the second round, I didn't think they'd be getting out of the first round or something, because they had hurt me so many times before. And it does kind of feel this way with Mason, in which they've hurt us so many times before, in which, how are we going to lose it this time? But I say don't do that this time. I say let's trust in this team because they have earned our trust. They have won 6 in a row. They have gone to hard places and win. Of those 6 games, 3 of them were on the road. And they were at Dayton, the hardest place to play, sold out on a Friday night in Dayton, one of the Saturday night in Dayton. That's it in Dayton. That's the party in Dayton. And sold out. And they went in there and they won. They went to the Smith Center, becoming only the 2nd team to ever win under a Mason uniform at the Smith Center for men's basketball. Fantastic. They go to Robins Center. Again, probably a top 3 hardest place to play in the A10. They went there and they won. They beat Fordham in an absolute slugfest, one of the toughest teams to play that way against. They matched them 4-4 at home, and they won. They took care of Rhode Island at home. That was good. Big part of that was sometimes just taking care of the teams that are in front of you. And to give a lot of credit, Mason took care of the teams that were in front of them. They took care of Rhode Island. That was big. That was big to start it off. They took care of a LaSalle team that was super, super hot coming into homecoming. And it was a rock fight, and they fight for every second, and they won that game. But hey, this is not a Richmond team we can overlook. Tyler Burton is going to be going all out. Every single game is his last at this moment. But we have Ticket, we have Josh, we have Saquon, we have Ronnie, we have Coop, we have Justin, we have Malik, and maybe this is going to be the big question. This is going to be the X factor. Is Victor Bailey Jr. ready? Because if he's ready, that's suddenly a massive sharpshooter who is off the bench, ready potentially to go for George Mason. It's a big deal. And it's going to be a big game tomorrow. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be probably a slugfest again. And it will give us heart palpitations probably. But believe in this team and have some hope. And I said it six episodes ago now. Probably more than that, but 6 games I've talked about ago. I said after the Duquesne game, it was okay to be upset at this team. It was okay to be frustrated at this team because we expected more out of them, and we should have, knowing the talent on this team. These last 6 games, they have completely and totally put it together and are riding high, which means that we as a fan base are allowed to be hopeful. We are allowed to have hope. It's okay to dream that this might finally be the team that in the A10 does something, that gets to Saturday, that maybe is that surprise on a 1 or 2 team or a non-double bye team that gets its way into Saturday and maybe makes something happen. You're allowed to believe that this team could be it. Because I'm scared and I'm terrified tomorrow, and I'll be terrified if we make it past tomorrow. I'll be terrified of St. Louis on Thursday. And I'll be terrified for every game because that's how I am. I wear this on my sleeve, and I'm crazy, and I'm passionate about it, and I love it. And I know a lot of, this is a small channel. This is not a big, widespread watched fan base, not a fan base that people know about. Not a lot of people wear this on their chest or wear these colors. But we are here because we give a damn, and because we're passionate, and because we believe in this team. Maybe, but it's not always, it's the craziest thing, but we come back and we believe, and it's okay to say we believe in this team maybe more now than we've believed in this team for a long time. And that should be exciting. It's exciting to see the fact that we have a back-to-back first team all A10 player on this team in Josh Aduro, who is that good. We have a player like Ronnie Polite, who is exploding into be this lead point guard that this team has been shouting for the past 5 years. This is okay to be excited about Saquon playing as well as he has. It's okay to be excited to see that Ticket being that spark plug. It's okay to be excited whenever you see Coop taking an open 3 and showing up on defense and being able to go the distance this year. It's okay to be excited about that. And you should be. None of us know how this game is going to go. None of us know how this tournament's going to go. We don't know. We can't say. We could think. We can imagine. But we don't know. And, that's what makes sports so great. And that's why we sit here and that's why we watch. But it's going to be a challenge. Richmond has Burton. They have Grace. They have Quinn. It's going to be a front court battle. Gustafson is a mucker-upper. He will get in there and he will be physical with you. Jason Nelson, who knows what he could do? But it's going to be difficult. And we're going to have to show our stuff. And we're going to have to trust in this team because they have earned our trust. It's not last year's team where they're going into it on a low, on losing to UMass in senior day, and then falling to Fordham in the first round. This is not the Paulson teams of past where they can get by the low dregs, but they're not going to be able to touch anyone in the top half of the conference. This is a different team. I believe it is. And I believe in this team because this fan base deserves to have hope. And these players have given it everything this year to give us that feeling of hope. And we have to return that to them. So whether you're in Brooklyn, you're on your couch, or you're probably like me and going to be sneakily watching the game at work tomorrow, do it. And wear your Mason gear, wear your Mason colors. I'll have I got to wear a suit at work, but I'll have my GK colors with me on my chair, on my desk. I'll be there and I will be watching this game. Because it's time to believe. It's okay to believe. And even if the worst of the worst happens, and I might cry. I swear to God, if the worst of the worst happens, I might cry. But I'd probably cry just as hard, if not more, if this team made it all the way. And it's been a long time that any of us have been able to say that. Maybe not since this CAA days. That we could say we can go into a conference tournament and say, I believe this team can go all the way. Well, I'm saying it now that I believe that this team can go all the way. This is the name of this podcast, the name of our fight song is Onward to Victory. And I think we are on that path to victory right now. And maybe I'm wrong, but I don't give a shit if I am. Because I've fallen in love with this team all over again. I've fallen in love with how this team plays these players all over again, and it's awesome. And it's been fun. And no matter what happens in this game against Richmond the third time running, I'll be going out of it with a smile because I know we had fun. Doesn't matter where or when this ends. I had fun this season, and trust me, even though I won't be a student next year or for any longer time period here, I'll be back running my computer, talking about Mason basketball for the considerable part of my future. And I'll be a supporter for the rest of my life. So I want to thank you guys so much for paying attention this year. Like, subscribe. I want to hear your predictions for the game in the comments. This has been Joe Szymanski of the Onward to Victory podcast. Go green and gold.